welcome to Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. You'll experience bloopers, outtakes, surprises, and all the laughter in between. Intermissions is unscripted, unfiltered, and undeniably Florenza. So put your hands together to welcome today's guest to the show. Thank you so much, Mary Kay, for joining me on this episode of On the Air with Florenza, where we are going to talk about your newest release, Madam Queen. And we're also going to sneak in a couple questions based on your other book, the America's First Female Serial Killer, because I'm all about that killer life.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. I'm already having so much fun.
I know. So before we get started, we are going to toast. And I have not yet started drinking, although we've been giddy like I have.
Me
So,
neither. We just got there on our own.
ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a treat. I feel it already. So I have a little, this is called Reggae Red.
Okay.
So it's a fun wine. What do you
Okay.
have going on? It looks like,
I have a Negroni. I did a cocktail which has nothing but alcohols in it. So, because I felt like it was in keeping with the spirit of the time. Because, in Prohibition, they did cocktails because the liquor was so bad. Like they were drinking paint thinner that they had to invent a way to like get it down. So that's why we have cocktails. Now they're just fun. Anyway, I got a Negroni. So
so tell me what's in there. Because like my favorite drink is tequila, vodka, gin, and rum one with a little bit of ice and a squeeze of lime.
okay.
So, but what's in that?
Negroni or this Negroni, there are variations. I have equal parts gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. And I didn't have a twist because I ate my orange earlier like an idiot. So stupid.
The
I could
juice,
have in
well,
this drink.
the juice is there first. The juice is waiting for the rest of the drink.
That's right. It's already in there. I had to eat them in increments.
Well, here you go, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, that reggae
Woo.
is a little good. So we are going to start with some true or false questions that I pull out and use for a segment that I call intermissions. And I keep saying I'm going to change the term to happy hour,
Oh,
but
okay.
just
I like
today
them
I
both.
I see, no, I
Yeah.
like happy hour. So I'm going to ask you a few true or false. I don't know
Okay.
the answers.
Okay.
Because you have the two titles that I really want to dive into, I have some questions based on Madam Queen and some questions based on America's First Female Serial Killer.
Okay.
Then I threw in one or two that's just about you. Now, I
Okay.
don't know the answers, so I'm going to guess.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, lately I have been guessing so horribly.
Okay.
Hopefully, today is my day to at
I hope there's
least.
some really wild stuff in there and you say true. That's what I hope. That's my hope for this segment.
Okay, true or false? Stephanie St. Clair was born in Harlem and rose to prominence in the local community. Now, that one's not fair because I know that one is false.
That one is false. Confirmed. False.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Madam Queen was known for her involvement in the Harlem numbers game during the 1920s. And that one is true.
Yes, true. And the 30s. So 20s and 30s.
20s and 30s.
Mhm.
And I know when we get to the other segments, so much about her was like it resonated with my grandmother. You
I
got
can't
me
wait.
wanting to like do some digging to see because yeah,
I'm excited.
yes. And I was named after my grandmother, so that
Me
would explain a
too.
whole really?
Yeah, I was named after both grandmothers. That's why I have a double first name.
They just put it
So,
together. Oh, okay, true or false?
okay.
Stephanie St. Clair collaborated closely with Dutch Schultz to expand her operations. Ooh, and I read the book and I should remember. I- I'm going to say true.
That one's false. They were rivals.
They were rivals. I knew that
Yeah.
name was in there. Okay.
He was not nice to her.
Ooh,
Really. He was not a nice person, but
period.
we'll get there. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the worst. It's really
Tr-
worst.
True or false? Madam Queen was an advocate against police corruption and racial discrimination in Harlem, and that one is yes, true.
Very true. Yes.
She was so bold.
So bold, fearless. Just, I'm going to print their badge numbers in the newspaper, literally buy a photo of me. Like, that's how, yeah,
Yes. I
that's
was
what
like,
got my attention of her to her first was like, what is she looks amazing. And what is she doing?
yes, taking numbers,
Literally.
literally. Okay. True or false? Jane Toppin was a nurse who confessed to killing over 30 patients. Now, I did not read the first female serial killer, so I am truly guessing. I'm gonna say, oh wait, I should know this. I have the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers, both volumes. Oh, I'm gonna say true.
I think it's true. I think she confessed to at least 30. um I think 16 is confirmed, and they're not sure if she lied about the others. She was a big liar and also a big killer. So it could have been a lot more than that that she just didn't remember or just lied about. But yes, she
I
was a
don't
nurse.
like a liar, but I'll take a killer. True or false? Going back to Jane, Jane Toppin was adopted by a wealthy family who provided her with a stable upbringing. Ooh, if she killed all those people, chances are. But you know what? I'm going to say true.
That one is false. They fostered her for most of her childhood and never adopted her. So when the mother died, she inherited nothing. And there was another little girl. I mean, she had a daughter who was like living luxuriously, and Jane was like doing all the housework. So exactly
Cinderella,
opposite.
Cinderella, night and day is Cinderella, do the
No,
dishes.
evil Cinderella, evil stepsister.
Poor thing. Okay. True or false? Jane Toppin was declared insane and spent the remainder of her life in an asylum. If she did not, she should have. And I'm just going to say false because something tells me she got off.
She was declared insane, but like not guilty. Like she was declared insane instead of guilty. So they committed her for her whole life.
Oh, so she was
Yeah.
committed.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That one
sorry, Jane.
that one's way more sad and a lot less fun than Madam Queen.
Okay, last couple, just based on you.
Okay.
Okay, you hold a master of fine arts in creative nonfiction. Oh, true.
True.
Good
That's
stuff.
true. Yeah.
You co-host a podcast titled Everything Trying to Kill You. Oh my gosh, that should be true if it's not.
I don't host it anymore. Like we stopped doing it, but yes, we did talk about all our favorite horror movies and what went right in them, and then also what we would rewrite. And then, like that's not how it would shake out. So that was really fun. I had a chat show with a couple of my best friends.
That would be such a great like a YA series or like a
Ooh,
graphic novel kind of thing where they take all these horror movies and they rewrite parts of it. That would be so much fun.
that would be fun. That would be really fun.
You should work on that because that's
Okay,
not
I'm
my
gonna take a
genre.
note.
Last one, true or false? Your academic background is in psychology, and I'm going to say true.
That's actually false. My academic background is not, but I did do a service term with AmeriCorps in direct care. So I didn't study it academically, but I did it in life.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Well, I didn't do too badly. I still,
No,
yeah, not too bad. I think the only thing
that's
that really
the best
saved
way to
me,
tell it false, right? It's close to true. So it's like it's just like one word is different, but
I think the only thing that really saved me is that I read Madam Queen, and except for those would have been bad. So we are going, well, thank you for playing our true or false. That was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
fun. Yeah.
And this wraps up our episode of Intermissions, your backstage pass to On the Air with Florenza. Be sure to check out the full interview for this author as well as others on Florenza's podcast, On the Air with Florenza. And until next time, cheers.